If there is anything that can be learned from a crypto crash or a stock market crash, these are some of those things. Hey, this is CeoTrades, where money works for you. Today's an exciting day. It's amazing. We have ultimate fear in the markets. It's unbelievable, but fear has definitely struck again. And what does this mean for everyone? Well, fear means that everybody's selling right now. Selling away, and not many people are purchasing. It seems as if we have a downfall, and we're just writing it down all the way. Those of us who are in there, those of us who've gotten out, maybe you're lucky, maybe you're not, and we'll know in the next several weeks and next several months what does this mean. But in the meantime, I dare to say, and I could be wrong, did you know that there are some benefits to this crash that's currently happening right now? Lessons learned. Here we go. I want to show you, start off with one picture here. Very important picture. See this picture right here? This shows the Bitcoin corrections in several stages. First time that Bitcoin had a crash was in 2012. But in 2012, it had two different crashes. One at 42%, the other one at 56%. In 2013, it had four crashes. One at 32%, 35%, at 82%, at 49%. Now, these were all done at different months intervals, although the 2013 had two crashes in the same month. It's amazing. That can happen. It can happen. Now, in 2016, it had one crash, 86.9%. That's the highest crash to date. So far, we're very close to that. Very close. I don't know if it's going to get that steep, but figure that if you dump, you will never know what happens. In 2017, we had five crashes, 34%, 33%, 38%, 40%, 29%. None of them occurred in the same month. They were all in different months. That is just how the way it works. And we could study this picture here on and on and on. And we're going to take just a few minutes to look at it after this. In 2018, we had one crash, 83.6%, the second highest crash. The second highest crash. The third highest crash was in 2013. And the highest crash again was in 2016, just to rectify that. And then 2020, we had a 60% drop. In 2021, we had a 51% drop. And now the current drop, which is somewhere in the 60 to 70% range. Yep, that's right. We're on target to either match one of the toughest crashes or maybe even go all the way down. See, when it's deflationary, we don't know where it's going to end. It might go all the way down. It might go to zero. I don't know. We don't know. However, let's take a look at this chart more carefully. This picture, sorry. Bitcoin's historical corrections from all-time highs. Despite being one of the world's best performing assets, Bitcoin has suffered plenty of massive price drops. Now listen here. From government bans, that means negative news, to hack-induced crashes. Hack-induced crashes. That's right. There are a lot of hack-induced crashes. The current one, the hearsay is it's hack-induced, thanks to BlackRock and Citadel, supposedly. But we'll find out more in the next several days. Here's how these corrections compare. Now, this is the reality. When the first crash happened, we had a high of $7 of Bitcoin, and it went down to $4. Then it went the high of 16 down to 7. Then the next high was at 49 to 33. Then it hit 77 to 50 in the next one. Then 259 to 50. Why am I saying these numbers so fast? Because I want to go over them in depth. 755 to 378. And you can notice, if you noticed so far, each time it has a higher high. 1163 was the high, 152 was the low. 1350 was the high, 991 was the low. 2,760 was the high, 1,850 was the low. 2,980 was the high, 1,830 was the low. 4,980 was the high, 2,972. It goes on and on until the last one last year, which was 64,000 high and 31,000 low, 51%. That's crash. or correction if you want to be technical about it. And the current one, which is not listed in here, I don't know if I'm missing any other ones, but I believe this is pretty much it. What can we learn from this? Number one is every year or every time we've had a crash, Bitcoin has gone higher the next time around. It has gone higher. And I remember when Bitcoin hit 20,000 back in 2018, I cashed in. I don't remember what level. I didn't have a lot. And then that right there, 2018 to 2019, 2018 to 2020, that was the first time that Bitcoin had a lower high, 12,000, but it still crashed when it hit that 12,000. And this is one of the reasons that I will cover in the list that I'm going to go over of what the benefits of crashes are. Yeah, there are benefits, unfortunately and fortunately, because you should learn from everything. If you're not learning, then knowledge is potential power. And if you don't have any knowledge, then how are you going to double your bank account or triple it for that matter? In 2012, a Ponzi scheme known as the Bitcoin Savings and Trust makes off with 150,000 Bitcoins. The fraudster was later sentenced to 18 months jail time and 2.4 million in damage. Terrible, but that happened. You can look it up on Google search or Brave search browser. China bans Bitcoin and Bitcoin exchange Mount Gox suffers back regulatory troubles and eventual bankruptcy. This was in 2016. This was an 86.9% drop, the highest drop in all of Bitcoin's history. Although the high back then was 1,163 and it dropped to 152. That's scary. And then what's the next news? In 2018, 530 million hack of Japan's largest over-the-counter crypto exchange, CoinCheck. There was a hack there. I don't know exactly what that is, but if you want to know more about it, I know it's on coinmarketcap.com. You can research it or find it on search engines. And then in 2021, Elon Musk tweets that Tesla will stop accepting Bitcoin payments. And this last one, the hearsay again, is BlackRock and Citadel have something to do with it. I saw some of the information from one of the CEOs of one of the crypto companies. However, don't want to give it all away just like that. We want to wait until more concrete news comes out and see if it matches what he is saying. Number one benefit, there's no order to this, by the way. Number one benefit, any project can crash, can correct itself in 24 hours. It can lose it all. That's right. That's one of the things we learn. So there's no safe net in any of this. It's the same thing in stocks and the same thing in crypto. Look at Peloton. Peloton went from, I believe it was 200 down to, what is it right now? I think it's like $11. I can check that here on my mind. It's 978 was its low yesterday, and it was, I'm just checking here. I'm not going to show you that screen so I don't confuse you here, but just wanted to check what was its high. It's $129. That's insane difference. Now, let me fill you in on this, that although projects have sound and concrete evidence on their performance, just like Netflix, they can come tumbling down. And we'll go over Netflix in a moment. Number two, project in a specific exchange, will it be saved? If it's in a specific exchange like Binance or Coinbase or KuCoin, no. No exchange will be able to save a project unless they put in all the money to cover the other side and repurchase coins. Unless that happens, there's no way it's happening. Now, with the current coin that we hear, Terra Luna, that's a huge mess. Let me see if I can share my screen here to show you what is happening with Terra Luna. I might have to look for it. But before you see the fear and greed index, let me see if it's changed. I don't think it's changed. It's coming up in less than 2 hours to change. But you can see yesterday it was extreme fear at 10. Today, extreme fear is at 12. Last week it was 21, and last month it was 32. That's immense change. Let me see if I find Terra Luna here. I believe I have it up. Yep, Terra Luna down 95%. It's at $1.15 right now. I think it was even at lower than that, was it? Let's see. Yeah, it was at 84 cents earlier. And that's just unbelievable, but that's the reality. It was down at, what was it? What's his low? 69 cents. What's his low? 69 cents. That is unbelievable. From what was its high? I believe it was somewhere around 100. Jeez. Yep, $100 at least, if not more. Let me just see if I can pull up more of this chart. There we go. Now we can see this even on a different level. And that's why these charts are deceiving. You've got to use different charts. 120, what's this high? 120, 119.5. And look, it's down to $1 right now. That is unbelievable, but it's true. This can happen. Sound projects like Terra Luna should never have lost its value. I mean, it has a stable coin, or had, and look where it's at now. It's unbelievable. Now, I have had some friends who purchased at the $3 range. They didn't expect it to go any further down than that. And look at that. It's at $1. I wouldn't invest in this one yet. I would wait. I'm solely investing in a few, and I'll explain in a bit as we get to that level. Number 3, bad decisions. What do you expect from bad decisions? They could kill a project. There are bad decisions being made. Do Kwon, have you heard of Do Kwon? DOKWON? Well, he's the CEO of Terra Luna. You can look him up on Twitter at Stable Kwon, KWON, and you'll see. I mean, he seems to be a great guy. He seems to have his head on his shoulders, and he attempted to say positive things about Terra Luna, not expecting a downfall, not expecting a market correction, a crash. This is a crash, serious crash with Terra Luna. I mean, look at that. How much further can you expect it to drop? If it drops to zero, then there's even much more of a problem. If it drops to zero, and we hope that it doesn't go that level, because that means everyone who's in Luna gets wiped out. Zero. Number 4, big projects. What about them? Are they worthwhile investing? Well, big projects fall big. Bigger falls. You don't know which is the right project, right? But you can invest in several projects. And that's, we'll be explaining in a minute. Bigger falls. Look at Terra Luna. It has a fantastic project, and it's lost somewhere around, how much has it lost? Let me see. I think I saw it in here somewhere. Let's see. I believe it has lost. Geez, it's valued at 1.4 million right now, market cap currently, and I know the market cap is 83%. Now, let's say it was worth 1.4 billion. It was worth about 3 billion, and it's down 83% from that high. Geez, that's half. Well, 95% of its value, and the market cap has gone down immensely. Why is this happening? Usually because people sell and no one's buying on the other end. That's really the number one reason. You can see some text here that says, Luna will hit $1 before UST. Jeez, that's amazing. Amazing, amazing. This is manipulation by the big market players. That's right. Everything is done to scare you into selling your assets. Keep the coins and don't sell. It's the only way you're going to make money. That's right. I believe in that. But let's keep going through the list. Number 5. Well, big projects. Big projects. There's one big project I need you to be aware of. There's an exchange called GoOrbit. Be careful with that exchange. It promotes big news, promotes big returns, but GoOrbit is questionable where its start is. We don't know who the people are involved in it, and so on, etc. It's offshores. I don't think it's available in the U.S. Maybe it is, but that one has some bad rapport. GoOrbit from several different sources. Number 5, doesn't matter what decisions are made, but what matters is you and me. It's what we perceive a specific stock or coin. That's what matters. On stocks, it also matters on what the shareholders have to say. That matters. Now, Do Kwon is a fabulous CEO. He has, let me see if I can bring up Twitter on here and show you some of his tweets. Here we go, Do Kwon. This is what he posted today. Number 7, first we endorsed the community proposal 1164 to increase base pool from 50 million to 100 million SDR, decrease pool recovery, and so on. Then number 8, number 9. So he's put a lot of things in reference to saving Terra Luna. And is that enough? No, it's not enough. However, he's attempting to be transparent on the project. He's attempting to do everything he can to save Terra Luna. I understand the last 72 hours have been extremely tough on all of you. Know that I am resolved to work with every one of you to weather this crisis, and we will build our way out of this. That's his promise. I'm waiting. I'm waiting because I'm not going to jump in now. If I see some turn back, maybe I'll jump in, but not yet. Not yet. There's other news that's been reported in reference to this, but I'm not going to go into that here. Number 6. Communities can make public and negative claims, but what do you gain from that? It depends on the investors. If in a community they make public claims positive, maybe they'll go positive. But if they make negative, maybe they'll go negative, or the opposite can happen. There's no guarantee on the community claims. However, following these forums on whatever you invest in can assist you in making better decisions before these things happen, because there were alerts on certain platforms in reference to this crash. Number 7. This is something that most people forget to do. You invest in one coin. What is wrong with that? Have you heard of a word called diversify? If you diversify, did you know you have a better chance of making it out alive or with more opportunities? Because one coin could be down 95%, hint Terra Luna, but another coin could be down 30% or 50%. You'd still be ahead of the game. There are all-weather portfolios. That's how I operate on stocks and crypto, because relying on one source can give you unbelievable impact into your investments. I remember 3 years ago, one of my colleagues, Charles, said to me, "Oh, you seem to be diversified. You're not specifically investing in one specific type of company or anything like that." And he said, "Yes, that's right." And he asked me why. The reason? The all-weather portfolio. You've got to be prepared for the rain, for the winters. We're through winter right now, and I'm not perfectly prepared, but I am better prepared than when I started. All-weather portfolios outside of the realm, and not just in eggs. Don't just purchase eggs. Purchase chickens, purchase cows, and so on. You've got to be able to keep your options open. Don't just purchase on Bitcoin, or make sure you have some diversification, because you never know what's going to happen. Number 8, money alone doesn't make a project. Terra Luna had huge amounts of money, and it's being provided subsidies through, I believe, UST. A lot of money is being provided into this. I think I saw it in here. Bringing back my death spiraling Luna model. Turns out it was accurate. All of those didn't age well. Jabs at it didn't age well. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, here we go. The price stabilization mechanism is absorbing UST supply, over 10% of total supply, but the cost of absorbing so much stable coins at the same time has stretched out the on-chain swap spread to 40%, and Luna price has diminished dramatically, absorbing the ARBs. Jeez. Well, I hope Do Kwon can save it. And I hope that there's a community that still believes in Terra Luna, even though they've bailed out for fear, because that's the reality. People bail out for fear, and maybe in a few days I might be wrong, but in general, looking at history, because history repeats itself, most people bail out at the wrong time. Just look at the Pareto principle, 80-20. And I dare to say 90-10. 90% of the people will bail out at the wrong time, and 10% will hack in there and stay in there and weather out this storm. What do you think? What do you gain from saying to the moon? Right now, zero credibility. It's a term that has been overused, and right now doesn't sound optimistic. It's pessimistic right now. It's probably not being used anywhere, but I've seen some people post positive things, and those things have to be noted. Number 10. There's plenty of opportunity in stocks and crypto. Plenty of opportunity. You can have it all. Netflix had it all. But everything that goes up can come down. Everything that is visual, is perception, is electronic, can be turned to dust or can turn to nothing. That's just the reality. Be aware of that you're making these investments, and whenever you go into these investment firms, that's the first thing they tell you is, you could lose it all. It doesn't matter if I make decisions, you could lose it all. And they could lose it all. You can lose it all. It's best to be in control yourself of the money instead of having somebody else do it for you, because you don't know exactly what they're doing in the end. Relying on others, just as I explained, I mean, Netflix relies on us to subscribe. However, its shareholders want more from Netflix, stating that Netflix doesn't have any ads, and that brings that Netflix's value down. And it's not necessarily true, but because of them spreading that, now look at Netflix stock. It is way down, way down. It probably will be a good one in the long term because they will reinvest in it, but it's not my cup of tea right now, but I will look into that because there are a lot of stock opportunities as well as crypto opportunities. Number 11. Why do these fall? Why do these fall? There's fear, there's inflation, there's a looming recession. We are in a recession. Normally it's not said until afterwards, but there's less people employed. Everything is expensive, and the housing market soon is running into peril. I don't know what's going to happen if people buy. It's a good time to buy because there will be people attempting to sell 50% higher than it's worth if you're in major cities or in major opportunistic places. That's right. There are people willing to sell whatever it is worthless to you. Volatility is why things fall. Skeptical people filled with fear, that's what makes these markets fall. Skeptical people. Now again, as I show you this heat map right here, this is in the last hour. Bitcoin has dropped to 28,950. I purchased 28.4, just a little bit, and it's gone down several times. Earlier today I started at, what was it, 29.7, and I purchased a little bit as well. You're not going to catch the bottom, or maybe you do. Great, but catch a little bit, and eventually this is going to go way up. It's going to shoot up there. It's going to go to the moon, right? You don't want to hear that term. But these are projects that are sound, that are going to be around for a long, long time. Now, in the last 30 days, let's wait until this refreshes. In the last 30 days, let me just make sure it's refreshed. Hold on. Sometimes it takes a moment to come up and show you realistic numbers. Here we go. Is that right? In the last month, it's only down. Okay, there we go. That's why I wait. It's down 31% from what it was. It was somewhere around 40,000 last month. Ethereum, it was somewhere around, if I had to guess, somewhere around 3,200, 3,100, 3,100 or so. And some of these other projects you can see in here, you can see even these small ones in here. Some of the ones, BNX is up 5%. I don't know what that is. There it is, $81, Binary X. I don't know this project. I don't. Does it benefit me? I wouldn't be able to tell. It's not heavily invested in right now, but you can see it has a cup right there, and it was down at 0.00 G's. All right. Well, this is in BTC, so it's not going to be that easy to see, but just so you're aware, it's in there. Let's go back to our former chart. Give it a second. There we go. And let's go down this list. Number 12. Are you young? If you're young, do errors. Make errors. My leader, who's 70 plus years old, Ray Dalio, who's taught me a lot through his audiobooks, through his videos. I've learned a lot. But one of the most important lessons is he's had many errors. He's lost over $1 billion with a B. 1 billion. Can you imagine losing $1 billion? How about imagining at the same time that you lose $1 billion, you've made 19 billion with a B? Is it okay to lose $1 billion and make 19? Well, if it's not okay with you, send it over my way. Of course, it's okay. Make errors. Even at my age, I'm a little bit older, just at 50, young. I'm older. I'm 50 years young. I hope that sounded good to you. It sounds very good to me. The reality is that we're going to make some errors, and we need to learn from these errors. And these next two or three things that I'm going to say are probably, if not the most important things, very close to that. Number one, if you purchase Bitcoin right now at 28,000, right, and you got in, let's say you bought one share at 28,000, and maybe you want to cash out when it gets to 50,000. Why don't you just put a sell limit price at 50,000? Good until canceled. Now, not all softwares are going to allow you this. Not all exchanges. I don't think Robinhood would allow that. I don't think which other softwares. Webull might not allow it. Some of these simpler softwares, they're not going to allow it. Cash App's not going to allow it. Venmo, I don't think. PayPal. I don't know the other exchanges. Maybe Gemini might not allow it. And Coinbase and Coinbase Pro, they might allow it. But if you set a limit, isn't it better to cash in than to worry about when it's going to when it's going to drop again? Whatever limit you want to set. That's just an example. You could set it at 35,000. I mean, that's 20% gains if you're jumping in now, right? That's really good. Now, there's another step. If you don't want to set a limit, if you want to be more powerful, there's something called a stop loss, and this is number 14. A stop loss basically means when it gets to 40,000, you enter in and you put a stop loss on it at 40,000. If Bitcoin drops 5%, 4%, 10%, it'll automatically sell. How does that sound? However, if it keeps going upward, it won't sell right away. But let's say it gets to, you wanted to sell at 40,000, for example, and it goes to 48,000, and all of a sudden it drops 10%, which is 4,800 BTCs in USD. BTCs, 4,800. So that would make it 43,200. It would sell automatically. That's what a stop loss is. However, there's one more to that. Number 15, a trailing stop loss. In a trailing stop loss, it is much more powerful than a limit order or just a regular stop loss order, because stop loss order, you have to set it when you purchase Bitcoin. But the trailing stop you can set later, and that trailing stop is what I was just referring to, the example I just gave, where it keeps going upward, and if as soon as it drops 4%, 10%, boom, it sells. Whatever it is you want to set it up, you could set it up for 1%, but it's going to fill up pretty quickly because it has fluctuation. Bitcoin and all these cryptos have fluctuations. You've got to be aware of that. That is normal. Now, number 16, how is it that most people make money in these coins? How is it? Well, I want to show you the charts on that. Let me see if I can bring up Bitcoin and Ethereum. I want to show you these. Now, this is Ethereum, and this is a daily chart, and this is what people do to make money. Now, let's say I enter down here at one. This is Matic. This is not Ethereum. Why did it say Ethereum? Let me see. Ethereum. Why is it $1? Why is it Matic down here? Ethereum to USD chart. This is confusing. It's Matic. This is Polygon Matic. Let's say I enter at, where are we? $5. Right. And then I cash out at $1.20. What did I just make? 15% or so? That's pretty good, right? Now you let it ride. You let it ride, and then you see that it drops 10% again, or 10 cents. You can go in. And at $1.30 or $1, what is it? $1.20, $1.22. Let's say you catch it somewhere in here, and then you drop in again, and at 5 or 10%, you cash out at $1.48. Let's say. Now it goes up to $1.60, and you missed that move, but it drops again from $1.60 to where? To $1.46. Maybe you want to catch in again right in there, and you ride it for another 5 to 10%, and you catch it at $1.70. Now, this is on the way up here. You can see that. It's on the way up, even though it has steps. But how about on the way down? You do the same. Now, how do you do this? You wait until it gets to a low level, and then you see one big candle, and then you purchase in here, 210, 212. And then you wait and sell at 229, 230, 5 to 10%. And then wait and see what happens. Maybe it'll go way up. But what happens if it goes down? Down, down. You got to wait and see where it goes and wait a few candles. These are daily candles, so this is not the accurate picture for one day, but this is just an example. And let's say you want to purchase in again here at $1.52, and then it doesn't go your way here, and you wait, and then you cash out $1.76. Great. You missed this move here, but you're making money. That's the catch to all of this. That is something that most of us don't want to deal with, that we just want to park our money and let it ride. Those days still exist. The 90% are part of that, and that's why they're cashing out right now, late after the information came out, taking their small amounts of money out instead of leaving it parked in there until it returns what they needed to return. These are 16 different benefits that we can learn from a market crash. Stocks, crypto, likewise. This is CeoTrades. Please like, share, subscribe. And remember, if you want to double your bank account, why don't you invest in your knowledge account so your money market account will grow multiplied. And until tomorrow, we'll look at another session of the crypto correction phase.